Hope everyone's doing well today, guys. Hey, welcome to the call, everybody, newcomers and those that are watching the recording. It's always started at 101. Just so you don't know, 101 is a special number to me. That's the way me and my wife used to say we love each other. So I'm just going to be transparent with you. That's why I always start at 101. She was too afraid to say it in front of her mom. And so now my kids say 101. So when we meet 101, we mean we love you. That's a little added a little vulnerability of Grossi. But these calls, guys, are meant to be defining the game. We're going to define the game of your life, what you want to live, how you want to get started defining it. Like, these are what these calls are about. This is what this message is about. This is why I'm so passionate. This is why I'm so fired up today, because I know that we are going to grow together and we have the ability to cause and create anything we want in our lives, guys. So my intention is to help you in any way by showing you what I've done, how I continue to do it each and every day, even when stuff happens, even when life happens, even when you can't get sleep, even when you don't know what you're going to do, you just got to make it happen. You got to have an intentionality every single day just to wake up and know that what you want to do with cause and create of your life is right in your hands. My hope is that you take away some of the tips. Why am I fired up, dude? I'm fired up. Like, you can feel the energy. I want you to take away some of the tips and tricks and literally start causing and creating anything you want in your life, implementing the things that I do every single day in your life right now. Mic drop. Pause. Like, these are the things that you have to do, you must do to become the best version of yourself, guys. And for those who you don't know me, like I said, I'm Dr. Bobby Grossi, born and raised in Flint, Michigan, raised by a single mom, raising 3 kids. Today we're talking about thoughts and the power of your thoughts, but I want to talk about how even growing up, my thoughts are what have always guided me. My thoughts are what have always influenced me. Even when my mom didn't have money, like, I would envision a different future. I would think of a different way to do things. So I've always gravitated differently. I beat to my own drum. I didn't beat to anybody else. It was my thoughts. It was my ideology. It was my mind that always started to challenge me and get me to be the best version of myself. It's your thoughts that leads you into ways that you dominate. Like, so to me, guys, when I think of things, when I think of what you want to do, understand it's the power of your thoughts that control everything. So growing up, like I said, I always wanted to think differently than what my mom did. I always wanted to have a different viewpoint. She had a negative mindset. I love her to death, but she had a scarcity mindset. So I said, okay, what do I have to do? And the first thing I did was change my thoughts. And so, I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to not have any hope. I know what it's like to feel like you're alone. I know what it's like to feel this pressure. So I really hope after this call, if all you take the whole thing is you realize that there's hope out there. You realize there's a strategy out there for you to truly accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. You have the ability to cause and create anything you want, and it all starts really with the power of your thoughts, guys. So there's an old phrase, there's an old adage that says, Proverbs chapter 18, I think it's verse 21, it says, you eat the fruit of your words. What does that really mean? You are the fruit of your words. You basically, what you say is what comes in. How you feel is what it comes in. I personally think that you mirror the power of your thoughts, though. So if you're the fruit of the words, what you have coming back to you, the mirror is the power of your thoughts, right? You're projecting what's coming back in your life is really what you think in your head. Yes, you might speak something. We know a lot of people all the time that speak, oh, I'm great. But in their mind, they're feeling they're sad. And we know these people. So yes, it is true that you're the fruit of your words, but more importantly, you're the mirror of your thoughts. Now, guys, do you understand that analogy just with a thumbs up or a heart? I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? Can you feel the difference between the power of you're the mirror of your thoughts? So there's so many times, and let me give you what I mean. Like, if you're happy, if you're thinking happy thoughts, and let's say something great just happened in your life, and you know what I mean? Like, we've all been there, and all of a sudden we can hear, we're dancing and we're singing. Sorry, guys, my neck's a little beat up today. I don't know what I did, so I keep cracking it. I apologize. But we keep singing and we keep dancing, and we hear this, everything we hear on the radio. Well, whatever, whether XM or whether you're in your Bluetooth, whatever, anything you hear in life is just happy songs. Like, all you hear is happy songs. And like, even when you're sad, right? All you hear is negative songs, sad songs, depressing songs. I mean, guys, how many times we've had to break up, right? Just with a smile or a nod or a thumbs up or a happy face. Like, how many times have you been just broke up with somebody and all you hear is depressing songs? Has anybody ever been there? All the time. And it's because you can manifest and believe anything in your head what you want to attract. So it's your thoughts, you are mirroring your thoughts. So every time you think of something, be very careful, because what's going to come back to you, what's going to come back to your soul, down to your core, is how you think. So that's why there's so much power in thoughts, so much power in thoughts. I had to come from a different viewpoint, even in dentistry. Like, how do you develop a different way of thinking? How do you develop a different mindset? How do you come from a different viewpoint? Like, what do you do when you are thinking negative? Like, what happens? What should you do? How do you change your thoughts? Make it bigger. Like view yourself being doing like make everything bigger from a different viewpoint than what you've been doing right now. An example, enlarge it. Enlarge the image of what you want in your mind. This should change the way you think immediately. And I think about others that light me up. So like for me, even in dental practice, I was thinking about this. Like, how did I grow my dental practice from a 6-figure to a multi 7-figure practice? And I'm not saying that to boast, but what I had to do, I used to think everything was about me. I used to think it was about my ego. I used to think that I'm a dentist and they should do this. And I was thinking differently. I was thinking that people should behave based on what my title is. But then I realized, in order to get growth, in order to make an impact, I had to totally think differently. My thoughts had to be totally differently. I had to remove myself from me and think about service to. That's one change of thought. But I envisioned it differently. I thought of a practice that was well-functioning. I thought of a practice that was a 7-figure practice. I started thinking from small business, and we hear this all the time. Oh, you own a small business. Just that mindset of small business, you play small. So all I did was, what do you mean small business? 7 figures is big business. Now, you guys might think of big business as the Fortune 500, but let me just teach you how you can train your thought to be differently. And then what ended up happening just by me changing that mindset from thinking I'm small business to big business. How many times we hear that on the news, guys? Oh, they're in small business. Man, I didn't realize a business for yourself is small. I didn't realize anytime you're in business, it's small. It's big. It's big time. You're doing this stuff for your family. You're doing it for your friends. That's big time. It's not just about you. Small is about you. Everybody should say they're in big business. Everybody, because it gets your mind to think differently. When you think big, you behave big. When you think big, you raise your altitude. Thumbs up if you guys understand that. So when you change the way you viewpoint of everything, when you change the way you view it, it has to become bigger than you. And then you must like going back to dentistry, when I started crushing it, I started thinking of how I would want the office to look. I started thinking of like, what should a guy who runs a big business, what should they dress like? And I was thinking things differently. How does my staff respond? How do I serve the patients? What would that behavior be? And I started implementing it just through my brain. I started envisioning, and my thoughts started creating what I wanted to come back in my life. And that's what it means to cause and create something. So if your thoughts are the reflection in the mirror, why can't I just change my thoughts to get a different outcome in life? You can. But they got to be bigger than that. You got to believe. You must also believe it will happen to you. Like, in order for the power of your thoughts to work, you have to feel that you're worth it. Guys, first and foremost, if you don't believe you're worth it, the universe can't even give it to you. If you truly believe in your heart you're not worth greatness, you can't get anything great out of life. You got to believe it. It's like religion, and with all due respect, you just got to have faith, dude. You got to have faith. What makes you so different than anybody else? What makes LeBron James, other than maybe he can jump to a building, different than you? What makes an entrepreneur that's a billionaire different than you? Nothing. The only thing that's different between them is they believe they can. And you believe you can't. There's no difference between me. Guys, if you don't believe me, let me tell you something. I'll tell you a little story. Might be off piece, but let me just tell you what happened to me. Just this weekend alone, I had somebody try to do check fraud on me and my wife. Over $4,000, had to change all my bank accounts. I had somebody quit on me that was supposed to run a business with me. Oh, and by the way, I also had an hour and 22 minutes sleep the night before, because I don't know what's going on in my house, like poltergeist stuff, but either way, I had an hour and 22 minutes. So I could have allowed all that to dictate what I do the next day. I could have thought differently, but you know what I did? What is my thoughts? What is my end goal? What do I want it to be? How do I want it to behave? What should I do? I got to wake up and just take one step forward and crush it, because I know what my end vision is. My end vision is to make the greatest impact in everybody's life. My end vision is to be $250 million by the year 2025. My end thoughts are I can accomplish anything that I set my mind to. But you must lead by example, and you must do everything you can in your obstacle to get out of your way. But if you don't even believe it can happen, see what happened, and Ken knows, I talked to Ken yesterday. Man, I was on fire till 9, 10 o'clock at night. What are you truly committed to? If you're committed to a great life, you will do anything in your power, but it starts by how you think. It's your thought process. It's your thought process that you're going to get back that's a reflection of who you really are. Because if you're not getting good things out of life, I'm going to challenge you. How are you thinking? How are you thinking about yourself? I mean, are you thinking you can't do it? Are you thinking you can do it? Are you even thinking big enough to do it? Are you thinking that, well, nobody in my family's ever been successful? Man, if I thought that, I was the first person ever in my family ever to go to grad school. Nobody even thought about it. I was the first person ever to do XYZ. I mean, you're that person too, but you don't give it power in your thoughts. And I want you to realize that everything you've ever wanted, whether it's being married to your spouse, whether it's having beautiful kids or not, whether it's owning a puppy dog, whatever it is, it started with your thoughts. It started with a thought. Thumbs up if you guys understand that. It just started with thoughts. And then what ended up happening is that it came back in your life. So your thoughts, everything you can do is the most powerful thing, but it must start with a belief. Believe it can happen to you. You have to have the confidence to know that no matter what you're doing, you are meant for greatness. You are the embodiment of God himself. You are the head, not the tail. I mean, you are the king. You are the son of the king. Like, think about that. If you truly live yourself that way, you are meant for greatness. Period. You can't think anything differently. I mean, you just can't, because we are the, at least to my knowledge, we are the best species on planet Earth, right? That I know of. We can do the impossible. We can think any way we want, but it has to start with a belief system. You just got to believe you can. A dude from Flint, Michigan, raised by a single mom, raising 3 kids with a dad that's an addict. Man, how am I sitting here talking to you? I believe I could. I believe I can. I believe I can make an impact. I believe I have something down in my core that I should share. I believe it. And I believe I'm meant for greatness. I really, really do. And I'm not saying that to boast. I believe it in my core. I'm meant to do something special in this world. God gave me a calling to do something special. And I try to live by example every day. Guys, just with pausing a little bit, is there something burning in your gut? People that are listening, people that are watching the recording, is there something burning in you that you truly want to do and you think you want to do and you have the thought to do it, but you don't act on it? Is there just something? Something? My question to you is, what's holding you back? Is it your own thoughts? Do you believe you can't? Do you believe you don't have the money? Do you believe you don't have the finances? Do you believe whatever it is, somebody's not going to support you from doing it? See, it's that belief system that's holding you back. It's that thought that's holding you back. You know what I know? Let other people fail before you judge them. Let other people that say they're going to hold you back, why don't you at least give them the opportunity to hold you back? Because I'm going to promise you this, anything you think of, you're always going to be right. Anytime you think of something, you will always be right. That's what's scary. So why not be right to the positive? Why not be right that, hey, I'm going to go after this? What is the worst thing that happens? You don't accomplish it? But I promise you this, it starts with what your belief system is. It starts out just the hope and the possibility that you can. And it starts with that. So you got to believe you're meant for greatness. Just because something isn't going the way it's supposed to go, just because it doesn't exist, you don't think it can exist. I mean, here's a good example. Do you see radio waves like flowing, even though there's radio waves? Do you see Bluetooth waves, whatever we're calling them ever? No, they're just there. You just know they're there. It's just faithful. They're there. You know they're there. But you don't have to see things all the time. You don't always have to know, what the outcome is. You just got to have faith. And you got to believe you were meant for greatness. You got to believe that you were put on this earth to absolutely dominate and crushing it. And that's the reality. You can't see them. So what? So what? You just know they're there. You can't see the finish line of what you want to do, what your thought is. Don't worry about it. Keep one step. Go one step at a time. Because guess what? You'll never reach the finish line. That's the hack. You'll always create more. You'll always want more. You'll always think differently. So don't worry about the finish line. Just do me a favor. Don't be in the same place next year as you are today. Right? Thumbs up with that. Please don't be the same person you are today that you are 10 years from now. Please don't. Because you failed epically. If you failed. If your business doesn't grow 10 years from now than it does today, you failed, right? But the only way you will fail is if you don't take the step. You don't believe you can. You gotta believe. Life is not against you. This world is not working against you. It is not, somebody doesn't have some magic wand and say, you know what, guy, you know what, Ken, you know what, I think you're gonna have some bad things, and I think things are just gonna go wrong for you, and life's not good. And Gordon's on the call. You know what, Gordon, I promise you, life's just not happening for you. Like, we're just gonna make sure you have a bad day. Guys, that's not how it exists. Guess what? We all have stuff in our head. We always have stuff that's going to impact us. We're always going to have stuff that derails us. But that's the resiliency of who you are. That's the power of who you are. That's what catapults you to the strength. You think in a million years, when I slept 2 hours a day for 4 years in dental school, that stuff was easy? I mean, you know what I did? In dental school, I wasn't doing well. I mean, Gordon is on the call, Sharon's on the call, Linda's on the call, Guy's on the call. I wasn't doing well my first 2 years of dental school. I was playing victim to my own circumstances. Man, I'm only sleeping 2 hours a day for 4 years. And I had this victim mentality, and I was, the world's against me, and I was getting all mad. And then what I realized, my third year, I started picking up the Bible, and I started just reading. And all I did was reprogram myself. And I started saying, I am the voice. I lead, not follow, believe, not doubt, create, not destroy. I'm a force for good. I divide the odds. I set new standards, and I step up. That's a Tony Robbins thing. I repeat it verbatim. I must have said it 150,000 times. That's why I can just spit it like it's nothing to you. But it wasn't until I changed my mindset that life's happening not against me, it's happening for me. These valleys you fall in, every time you fall in that valley, there is a mountain to climb. And guess what? Once you get to the top, guess what you got to do again? You got to go down to a valley to keep going heights. The only difference is that you're starting at a different level. You're starting at a different altitude. So when life happens, you don't worry about it. I used to think of my upbringing made me incapable of doing anything. Like life was against me. I didn't have the money. I didn't even go to dental school, right? I couldn't afford. I couldn't even eat every day. Like when I say that legit, I couldn't even eat every day. Like I was broke. I thought it wasn't fair. So I shut off all these negative thoughts. So the first thing I did is okay, hold on, pause, dude. Just shut all this off. Shut all this off, because if you keep getting bad back to you, remember, the thoughts are the reflection or the mirror of what you're thinking. Right? Your thoughts are the mirror coming back to you. It's a reflection of you. So the first way to get out of this when you start spiraling is just change the way you think. I say all the time, the firemen say, stop, drop, and roll. Like sometimes when you're in a spiral, we all get in a spiral. We all understand what a spiral is. When you get in that spiral, just stop, drop, and roll. Change the way you think. Think of something happy. Think of something, the outcome that you want it to be. Don't think of the circumstances. Like all I'm focusing on right now, when that happened to me in my other business and things aren't going my way, I think about what is it going to be though? What 10 days from now, 15 days from now, just take one day at a time. Like just think of what it's going to be. Think of what it is. I know this is a struggle right now. I know you're going through a lot, and all you on this call, I know you're struggling with something, but what is the end result? Where are you going to be a year from now? Where are you going to be 2 years from now? If you go through this valley, if you go through this pit, how much strength are you going to be? You must meet resistance. If a tree never felt weather, if a tree never felt rain or wind or anything like that, it cannot anchor its roots into the soil. It will never be strong enough to be the best version of the tree. It will die and wither. So when you go through this, don't worry about it. Life is happening for you, not to you. That's how you have to think. And also another strategy, quit saying you can't. Remove that from your vocabulary. Like successful people never say they can't. They don't even think, all they think of is I can or how can I? They don't think I can't do something. How can I do something? How can I make this happen? Like, what is the strategy? I know Gordon, my man on the call, I know Gordon very well. He's the CEO of Stern Gold. I love him. He gave me the opportunity to do a presentation this Thursday coming up, speaking to hundreds of dentists. And I remember 10 years in my career, I didn't think I was ever going to have the possibility to even do this. And I remember I was thinking of, I want to be a KOL for Stern Gold. I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do. This started 2 years ago. And Gordon will know just with a thumbs up if he can reply. And he understands this, guys. I know this is Gordon on this call. He knows the work we put into this. And we started creating this and we started thinking of this. And it was all by my thoughts and everything that I wanted. Everybody could have said, man, you can't possibly do this. You can't do that. I believed I could. I believe I can. And I believe I can make an impact. But it started with me, and it starts with the team. And you surround yourself with people that don't have an I can't mentality. They have an I can mentality. This means that that eliminate yourself from the news, eliminate yourself from the Facebook, eliminate yourself from Netflix, eliminate yourself from all the white noise and all the haters out there. You must eliminate yourself. You got to put yourself and surround yourself with people that want nothing but the best from you. You got to surround yourself with people that help you raise the law of your lid. You got to surround yourself with people that give you the power of thoughts that they might have that you don't. Surround yourself with people. I get to surround myself with Guy, with Sharon, with Christine, with Gordon, with Ken, with everybody else on this call. That's why I do this, because I get in a mindset. This is just as much for me as it is for you. When I do this, this is about believing you can. Replace your swear jar. I know Ken has this. We used to have a swear jar. Replace your I'm saying it wrong. Replace the swear jar that you used to have for your kids. If they ever say I can't, make them put $1 in there. Because everybody can do whatever they choose to do. That's the power. You are the power of your thoughts. If you think I can't, you're going to be absolutely right. If you think I can, the world's at you're right in your hands. It's all mindset. It's all what you believe you can do. So like we talk about things, we talk about the mindset, we talk about the things I can, and that's the whole point of the planner. Is to just organize your thoughts, change your thought patterns, jot down ideas of things that can make you happy and why it's important to you and how you can continue to review them daily. Do you think in a million years, if I didn't visualize or have thoughts of being a KOL speaker for Stern Gold, do you really think it would have happened? No, because my behavior wouldn't even have followed my thoughts. A guy from Flint, Michigan, sitting here, didn't come from anything, didn't even have a background in dentistry, because I only got into dentistry because my grandma died of throat cancer. Man, I'm going to be a KOL speaker for Stern Gold Implant Company. Like, dude, it all started with a thought. It starts with a vision. Who am I? I'm no different than you. I don't have some magic power. I'm 5'11", for God's sakes, $175. I don't have some magic gift. I can do anything I set my mind to mentality. That's what got me up when I had an hour and 22 minutes of sleep. I had to prove to myself that I live by example. I had to prove to myself that I'm going to cause and create anything future I want. Guys, you all have this magic power in you. You have this undeniable ability to crush anything that's in front of you. You just got to change the way you think sometimes. You got to give yourself the hope. And when you lose hope, think of anything besides I can't do something. Think of I can. I can do anything I set my mind to. I'm unstoppable. I am the voice. I lead, not follow. I believe, not doubt. I create, not destroy. I'm a force for good. I defy the odds. I set new standards and I step up. Why did I say that? Only to change my thought pattern. That's it. Only to change the way I view myself. And so many times you wake up every single day and you look in the mirror and you don't even like who you are. You think you can't. You don't think you're good enough. There's not a person in this world that said that. And if they do, they're just haters. You know what I do with haters? Awesome. I must be relevant. When I have haters in my life, when I have people telling me I can't, it fires me up even more. When I have people sometimes not always supporting what I want to do, I do it anyway because it's my dreams. Quit living life according to somebody else's plan. Live a life according to your plans. The minute you believe you're an unstoppable force, you're going to be unstoppable. The minute you believe you're meant for greatness, you're meant for greatness. Guys, just with the thumbs up or anything, is this a value to you? Is this something that you want to continue to do? Is this hitting home with any one of you guys? I really hope it is. And I appreciate everybody's response. Thank you. Guys, for example, set a time in your schedule every single day. If you're struggling with your thoughts, meditate on your thoughts and make sure that they remain positive and solution oriented. Make sure that you are controlling your destiny, nobody else. If I replace I can't with how can I, or I can, or what can I do? Don't say I can't. Can't should never exist. There's nothing impossible. Remember, the word impossible means I am possible. That's how you spell it. I am possible. I've heard that from somebody. I always use it. I love it. I am possible. Impossible doesn't exist. Just like fear doesn't exist. The only thing holding you back is what you think of yourself and what you think you can accomplish. That's it. Like I said, you all have superpowers with you. Guys, if you could, just to conclude this call, everyone's taking time out of their day. If you could just submit your ideas, what your purpose is, what you want to be in your planner, what your thoughts are, at the info@thedentistco.com. I would love to. I truly want to grow with you. I truly want to get this will get to me, obviously, and I truly hope you become the best version of yourself. Please, guys, if you could, share this with somebody. Share this with anybody that needs this. Go on my YouTube channel, The Dentist CEO, and watch the recording. Share it with one of your friends. Get us the information. If somebody needs to grow with us, I beg you to give them this link. And come next week, guys, this is what I'm going to focus on, okay? I'm going to focus on how you can change a good thing, because reviewing and beginning to live the life by design. You are going to change is good. How change is good and how you're going to live the life you want by design. I said that really funny. So to me, change is always good. So many times that's the problem with people, is they don't want change. So they try to stay comfortable. But I'm going to prove to you next week, I promise you, how change is good and how you must continue to stretch yourself to grow every single day. Guys, I end this with always one message. Thank you so much for allowing me to live the life I've always dreamt of living. Thank you so much for taking 30 minutes out of your day every Tuesday to allow me to share my thoughts with you and actually listening. Thank you for allowing me to grow with you. Thank you for allowing me to even bless my life. And thank you for allowing me to make an impact, not only in my own life, but in your life. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, you have no idea how much you all mean to me. You have no idea what this means to me, to be able to share my ideas and my vision and my plan to hope, not only help myself grow, but you grow. But from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And next Tuesday, I'm going to show you how change is good. Hope you guys have a blessed day. We'll talk soon.